You know what I don't do well is like mirroring things. Like I can look at something and then I have to try to figure out like.
You too?
Yeah.
I used to think this with my friend. Hey, you guys, it's Sara B, and I am here with one of my good friends, Scott Womer.
Hey,
hi.
How are you?
Can we take a minute to talk about your shirt, please? I love this.
So yeah, today I'm sporting the Song City logo shirt. So we have the Song City shirts, and then we have the logo shirts with Song City on the sleeve.
I love that.
Designed by my friend Rich at Ditch Designs, which is out in Valatia. He's a great graphic designer. Yeah.
So you are always busy year-round.
Seems like it.
Yes. Song City has closed for the season, ended for the season, and now your focus is on this beautiful retreat that you've dreamt up and brought to life. Ink 24?
Yeah, this will be Ink 26 now this 26. Year. Yes,
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Ink 24 was great too.
Okay. It was a good year. So for those who aren't aware of this, tell everybody what that entails, because it's really fascinating.
Yeah, I think I've just found in my own life that like getting away and having some solitude and being with some good friends, I think so much clearer. You know, I often find that like when I'm really struggling through trying to figure something out, and I don't do this enough anymore, but if I can just get out in the woods, get out on a trail, walk, talk with some good friends, it almost instantly clears up for me. Like I figure it out, you know, I'm just thinking differently.
Right.
And I used to do that a lot with a lot of friends in the Adirondacks. And at some point, as I began working with songwriters, I thought, I think this could work in the same way. I think that the camaraderie and the fellowship and the clear thinking and the time away is what we all need.
Yeah.
So in 2023, we did the first one. We hold it up at a retreat center way up on Lake George, Silver Bay, it's called. And they've got, I think they have 800 acres up there. It's a massive place right on the lake. They have everything from huge hotels to 4-person family style, you know, summer cottages. We go up there in October. So this year it'll be October 5th through the 8th. And the wonderful thing about that is, number one, the colors of the trees on the lake is amazing. It's amazing. I mean, it's inspiring, just that part of it. Another really great part of it is they've kind of shut down their big stuff for the year because summer is big for them.
Right.
So often we have the entire place to ourselves, all the buildings, the lake, everything. Every once in a while, there'd be a small group that might also be somewhere around. So we go in and we rent a place called Oak Cottage, which is a large lodge that houses about 16 or 17 people or so. And we take 10 different artists. So people are currently now applying for it and filling out a short application. And we choose 10 artists. And similar to Song City, it's a mixture of different styles, different genres, different experiences. And we all go out there. We spend 4 days there. And most of the days is pretty open time. You can be out by yourself writing. You could be matching up with some other people. They have so many incredible buildings there that, you know, you could be sitting at the lake for a couple hours, and then you could sit on the stage of this huge auditorium and write there. Or you could go to, they have these little old stone chapels, you know, with grand pianos in them and things like that. It's really, really incredible.
Lots of inspo, lots of great inspiration. And when did you, or how did you come up with this idea? I know you said you were thinking for clearing your own mind, but when you thought of this, did you originally think of it as just like a retreat for creatives, specifically for musicians? Like the whole idea of getting the cottages together, that requires so much planning, and you just seem to seamlessly bring it all together.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it did kind of just gradually work into what would be ideal. You know, we're always, at Song City, our main focus is how are we helping the artists.
Okay.
We love exposing the artists to the general public and making them aware of what great musicians we have and songwriters, and encouraging them to support the artists. But if we have to pick one or the other, we're choosing the artists, and we're wanting to, you know, just give them whatever we can to help them grow. So that's really what it came out of, is really coming up with kind of an organic list of what would be really great things that would help, not only just time away and not just conversations with other writers and opportunities to collaborate with different genres and different levels of writers and that kind of thing, but even things like we bring in Zach DeRocher, who's a local, really great photographer in the area, does a lot of our music scene here. And he comes up for a day and does a photo shoot with each of the artists, so that when they leave, they have, a bunch of really, really creative, great portraits.
Awesome.
We have an engineer in residence that comes up each time. For a few years, it was Anthony Kobich, who goes by Age of the Bear, who's an amazing both producer and artist, and he came up for the first 2 years. This year, Reckless Barb is coming up.
I saw that.
And he's wonderful as a musician, as a filmmaker, as a engineer. So we have a separate building that's set up as a studio. And throughout, a day or two, artists, as they're working on their songs, can book time and go in and record a demo with him, kind of a bare bones demo, because there's only so much time. And then, later down the road can continue to work on that demo. But that allows them to leave with, some actual material things like a demo and a photo shoot and time with everybody else.
That's wonderful. It's very generous. You get a lot out of this. You're offering musicians so much.
Yeah.
What came first, Song City or Ink?
Song City, for sure.
I just wanted to ask.
Yep, it was Song City, then Open Floor, and then Ink. I think really in that order. So
tell everybody, because I love this story, how you came up with Song City, what you kind of modeled it after.
Ultimately, I was a musician in the area growing up. I wanted more opportunities. I moved to Nashville back in the 90s, lived there for about 6 or 7 years, working for a record label there and doing some session work and just trying to learn, just trying to be around amazing artists and just kind of learn how they're doing what they're doing. And one of the things that I used to do while I was there is that there's music, obviously music venues everywhere of all different types. A place called the Bluebird Cafe, which is this very nondescript little cafe that's in a strip mall, like you would never think of it. And you go in and it's just packed with songwriters. And they do what's called songwriting in the round, which is similar, if you've come to Song City, similar to what we have there. So it's 4 artists, different artists each time, facing each other in the center of the room. And they simply do rotations around, and each artist will talk about their song, play it, and they'll usually go around 3 or 4 times. So each artist has played 3 or 4 songs by the end of it. And it's just very insightful for the audience to really hear the backstory and to really hear maybe even how the song originally was, because a lot of times these are songs that have then gone on to be recorded by Tim McGraw or something like that. And you've heard the full picture. Now you're hearing from the writer, how it all came about. So that's always, I think, really exciting to kind of hear those stories. And it's wonderful because it's so focused on the song, and not about productions and not about light shows and not about full bands, but just, the simplicity of a great song. So then when I came back to New York, 2020 or so, it was COVID, decided to do an album myself, write some songs and do an album, which I had dabbled in before, but never really done. And so I did that, and then that was done, and then I realized, I don't know what to do now. Like, I don't, what do you, okay, I have this album, it's on iTunes. What do I do now? Where do I go? Who do I play with? Where do I play? Who do I connect with? What media is out there to help me? No idea, So I just kind of started reaching out, because I figured if I don't know these things, there's got to be other people that don't know these things and people that can help us. And just started reaching out to the local community and kind of getting involved with, just trying to learn from artists that have been doing it for decades, And really that's how Song City began, is because I realized, number one, we need more opportunities for songwriters to be seen and heard and supported. So we need to be supporting them. And I just realized how many great songwriters there were of all these different genres. Absolutely. And just thought we need to be displaying that, So they need to be raised up and exposed for what great writers they are. And the Capital District needs to be aware of that we have something special here, you know? So that's really how it began. And I thought back to my time going to the Bluebird Cafe and realizing, you know, I love that format, you know? And the only thing I really tweaked about that format was I wanted to introduce all different genres. Whereas at the Bluebird, it's mainly country, bluegrass, folk, singer-songwriter style. And I really wanted to make sure we were including jazz artists and improvisational artists and hip-hop artists and all those things, you know. So that's really how it's begun, and it's just kind of grown over the past 4 seasons, and we'll be headed into the 5th season now.
Going into the 5th season.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And you mentioned the different varieties of artists. Before we started this interview, we were talking about Mundy.
Yes.
And how it was really interesting to see him in a different manner of performance in the Zordas Trio. And I just love that.
Yeah.
Seeing them reimagine their performances, their songs for performing in the round.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an incredible show, that season 24, or season 4, you know, wrap up finale.
That was the finale, right?
Yeah, it was a finale show.
That was so much fun.
So great.
I love what you've done with that. And you have another passion project. The Open
Yes,
Floor.
the Open Floor.
Not open mic, the Open Floor. I love
Open
that.
Floor. And that really came out of, you know, during the first year of Song City, I just had so many artists coming up and saying, like, I'd love to play Song City. Can I play? I love this format and that kind of thing. And you just can't take everyone, you know, or sometimes people are kind of at the beginning of their journey and they're not quite ready for something like that, because it does take a little bit of experience to be able to play in that setting and to be able to really talk about your writing. It takes some self-reflection and self-awareness to even be able to talk about how we write songs and, you know, that kind of thing. Usually when we're talking about the people that are playing at Song City, we'll talk about, you know, kind of the floor. This is, you know, the floor tonight includes these 4 people. These are the people that are on the floor tonight. And so that's kind of where the Open Floor came from, was like, this is like a Song City, but for anyone. Like anyone can come and be, in a sense, on the floor and play. And yeah,
I love that.
And just to watch we'll usually have about 20 writers that will come and play, and just watching them all, because a lot of them don't know each other, but they just grow as kind of a family so quickly that they're staying for an hour afterwards, just encouraging each other and talk. It's just such a sweet environment that kind of, no matter what place you are in your growth, you know, it just feels good, you know. And people will write, there's a song prompt each month, so they have a month to write a song using a phrase, and they don't have to. They can play anything they want as long as it's an original, but 80% of them are, so, you know, right, using the phrase. So that's kind of fun to see how many different ways we can use a phrase.
I don't think anybody is doing anything like this in the area. Kudos to you for having the vision and then to be able to execute it. That's so amazing. Have you found that most people have been very receptive to your ideas? Have you had challenges in putting these 3 things together?
No, I wouldn't say challenges as far as people are concerned at all. People are very receptive and really enjoy it. You know, there's always things like I want to keep things as affordable as possible. Like, you know, things like the retreat. You know, you want to give them as much as you can for as little as you can, because they're local musicians and they're either making their living playing music, which is always very impressive, you know, or they've got extra jobs that they're working or whatever, and you want to make it affordable as possible. And you know, when we can, we try to get grants and things like that to do it. But you can only do something great for so cheap, so it's just finding the balance there. You know what I mean? But I think it's well worth it. So at least as I'm looking at it, I look at it and say, this is actually worth a lot more than we're charging. You know, even if I wish I could charge even less, this is worth a lot. You know, you're getting a lot for your money. So I think that's great.
Tell me everything that's going on with everything you're doing. What's coming up next, and then after that, and then after that? Right.
So let's see. If we start with the Ink Retreat, applications opened last week. They'll be open until July 15. So they're open for a month. And you can go to our website, just go to songcitytroy.com/ink. And And you'll find there it's a fairly simple kind of one-page application that really just talks about, you send in a couple of your songs, some lyrics, some of your experiences, what you hope to get out of the retreat. And then we have an 8-person selection team made up of people that have been on Ink before, that really understand it. And we go through and choose 10 of those people. So that's the process we're in now, is people are sending in applications. Really, really happy with so far the applications that are coming in. We love the variety of people that are applying. So please do that. We would love to have more and more people applying for that. So that's what's going on there, and that will happen then in the beginning of October. Open Floor continues through the summer. So we do that 12 months a year, and that's on the 4th Thursday of each month. So next Thursday will be the next one.
Great.
And so we're looking forward to that. That happens here at the waiting room at 7:30. You don't need to sign up ahead of time. When you get here, there'll be a list. You'll sign up and get up and play. And so that's always a really great time. And the other thing that we do slightly different with the Open Floor than a normal open mic is there are 3 people up front at a time. I've always gotten a little frustrated logistically with open mics because there's so much downtime. And then we wonder why people kind of lose their focus on who's playing, and they get into conversations and they grab another beer, and it becomes kind of loud, and the person's up there trying to sing, and we're all chatting and stuff. And I think a lot of that is because there's so much downtime. By the time someone gets up and plugs in and tunes and checks their monitor or whatever and plays, and then has to undo all that, then the next person has to do all. There's all this downtime. I like things a little bit more concise. So what we've done is, when people are signing up on the list when they come in, it's 3 artists at a time. So there's 3 blanks. You put in your name on one of them. So there's groups of 3. So when you go up front, there's 3 chairs, 3 mics, 3 DIs. All 3 sit down. All 3 plug in. All 3 tune. And then we start. So we're kind of saving a bunch of time, and it creates a really nice community of 3 writers up there, especially for people that maybe don't do that a lot. And so to be up there with other people, either that they know or just met. So I love that. And we just go through groups of 3, until we're done.
You thought of everything, the downtime and what you see normally in open mics.
Yeah.
Kind of worked on.
Over time, you just kind of figure out what you like and don't like, I guess.
Smart cookie. You're a smart cookie. And of course, Song City will be starting.
Yes, season 5 starts on the 2nd Thursday in September.
Wow, it's coming up.
So, and we've already got a few artists booked for that are great. But I can't say anything. Can't say anything. I mean, for a price, maybe.
All right, we'll talk later about that. Well, thank you so much for being on Sara B Presents Live from the 518. I've been wanting to get you on the YouTube show.
I know.
On my radio show.
Yeah.
I'll have you back too to talk about Song City and everything.
Anytime you want.
Yeah.
Anytime
I'm like
you want.
Penny. You can't get rid of me.
We love RadioX, and they're so incredibly supportive. All of you are so supportive of what local music is doing. So
I didn't pay him to say that. That was an unsolicited compliment.
It's true. They're great.
Thank you so much. So tell me a little bit about the lighting, because it seems like Song City has its own unique lighting concept. Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, it's not anything that I think is anything brand new. I think I had 3 or 4 lights, and I had 3 or 4 colors, and I put them up. And now I've just found that we just try to stay consistent. I don't know. I think there's something about expanding and being creative and going down a different road. And I just find that there's something that I love. I'm just particular about things being consistent. And I like being able to, number one, it makes it easier from a setup standpoint because you know what you're doing each time. But I love seeing photos of artists from Song City or Open Floor, and just kind of knowing immediately when I see the space and the colors that it was a picture taken at Song City, or like people like Zach DeRocher and Kiki in the past, and different people that have shot photos for us. They're different kinds of photographers, but because the lighting and everything stays the same each time, you can always tell that it's a Song City event.
It's a Song City event. Exactly. Yeah. Here is where the round usually is.
right now we have a pickleball court that's also happening in here. So the waiting room is really has a lot of dimensions to it, for sure. Yeah, it is everything from a pickleball court to a song showcase place. There's a monthly dance party that happens here that's really doing well with a DJ, and 518 Craft does a bar at it, and it's jammed packed with people. So, and then there's also a thrift company that works out of here on Saturdays for the farmers market. So, so yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
I was excited when I came in. I thought maybe we were doing like a fashion show, pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to have you, pick out what you were going to wear, and we could kind of match. Although we're almost matching anyway. But
yeah, and then there's cutoffs.
Next time.
It's summer.
Next time we'll do a fashion show.
Stare right into them.
That's quite all right.